Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa, and this is Growing on Vancouver Island. Today I'm going to talk about 3 different ways that you can fertilize your strawberry plants. I grow one main variety of strawberries in my garden, and I'll talk a little bit about that first. So last year I planted this variety here from West Coast Seeds. It is a ever-bearing strawberry called Yellow Wander, and it is an alpine variety. It is very productive, extremely sweet, and it's actually a yellowy white color, quite different than your typical strawberry. The berries tend to be a little bit on the smaller side, and they taste like cotton candy is the best description I can give you. If you're ever gonna plant a strawberry from seed, this is one that I highly recommend. They're a little bit tricky to get growing in the house, but if you're able to, it is 150% worth it. These are awesome strawberries. So now back to what we are going to discuss today, and that is how to fertilize your strawberry plants. So I have 3 different methods I'm going to talk about, and I actually don't know what works best because I've always been a big fan of mixing fertilizers. I love to mix things together, but I don't usually use them by themselves. So this year I decided to do a little split test. So I have my 3 different methods that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to just put one type of amendment or fertilizer per strawberry patch, and then I have a label, and we're going to see how they grow, and I'll do an update later in the season and let you know which fertilizer I think wins in the fertilizer comparison for strawberries. So first I'm going to talk about regular bone meal. Bone meal is a great product for getting plants to produce more flowers and fruit better. So this particular bone meal that I'm going to use contains 4% nitrogen, 10% phosphoric acid, 10% calcium, and 48% organic matter. So that's what we're working with. And now we'll discuss the next product that I'm going to use. I recently found this at a local gardening center. It's by the company Organique. It looks like, I believe it's a French company in Canada. And it's called Bone Meal Plus 413-0 plus 13 calcium. So it contains soft rock, phosphate, and humic acid, as well as bone meal. So we'll be trying this. And the last amendment that I'm going to use isn't technically a fertilizer, it's more of a soil amendment, but it is one of my favorite things to use for a lot of different purposes. And that is sea soil. See if I can bring this down a little bit. I started using this last spring on my vegetable garden and a little bit in my fruit trees, and it is the most amazing fertilizer product amendment that I have ever come across other than seaweed extract. It is just such a good amendment for all plants, all soil types. It retains moisture, breaks up clay, adds organic matter to your garden bed, and it is organic and antibiotic free. I can't say enough good things. The plants performed so well. My cucumbers ended up the biggest cucumbers I've ever grown last summer, and I 100% attributed it to the sea soil, although I did use a few other fertilizers. I think the sea soil is what really did it for them. So now we're going to go up and have a look at my strawberry patch and start fertilizing. So here we are in my strawberry patch, which is located in my vegetable garden. I recently transplanted all of these alpine strawberries. They were growing in 2 or 3 large clumps of 10 or so plants per clump. So I spread them out 2 or 3 days ago, and they're still not looking as optimal as they could be, but we're going to give them some amendments and see how healthy we can get them. So I'll just show you how long of a stretch we have of plants. And I'm going to be dividing this area into thirds, and I've got my little plant marker, so I will know where I've fertilized what section. And one more little overview. And let's get to fertilizing. So we're going to start with our bone meal, regular old bone meal. And I've got my little plant marker in here. And I'm just going to till up the soil a little bit. And give a sort of small to moderate amount of bone meal for these plants. I don't like to overdo it with any fertilizer. And I'll just give you a quick look at what bone meal looks like. It does look different depending on the brand you get. I've worked with different varieties, but this is how this company's bone meal looks like. And we will just cover it up. There we go. And we'll move on to our next fertilizer. So now we're going to work with our second soil amendment fertilizer, which is the Bone Meal Plus fertilizer. And I'll show you what this one looks like. This is kind of a coarse fertilizer, almost resembles coffee grinds in a way. Coarse coffee grinds. So we'll put a moderate amount of this stuff in this little area of strawberries. And we'll cover it up. And now we'll move on to our next strawberry patch. So now we'll amend our final strawberry patch with some sea soil. So these will be watered in because these are newly transplanted plants, and it doesn't look like we're going to get any rain today, so I really should water everything in. I'll be doing that in a little bit. Thank you so much for watching this experiment. I will do an update later in the growing season and let you know my thoughts on the fertilizers so far. I hope you're having a lovely afternoon, and we'll see you in the next one.